Dominick Izzo, Bull of MLM, Network Marketing Warfare, and we have another podcast, and we're going to war today with Claude Racine-Valinsky, CEO of Glow Up with Claude, and your confidence expert. You and I had an awesome conversation the other day, and we're going to take this again, another conversation over. This is the network marketing front. So number one, thanks again for joining. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me again.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's get into we're getting right into this network marketing, MLM. Every aspect of it, your success, your struggles, all the shit. How I came across you was I got involved with some petty garbage of the internet MLM haters, right? And I decided to go that route for a while. And somebody had said, well, they went after Claude also. And then I looked and I saw that people were critiquing your work. We're going to get into that in a second because it has to be addressed. When people listen to these podcasts, I hope they come for entertainment, obviously, engagement, and education about why they should or shouldn't get involved with the industry if it's for them. But give everybody a 360-degree view of who you are, and then we're going to get into how you got into this industry, why you got into this industry, and where you're currently at with it.
I am a retired professional backup dancer of 18 years. I also choreographed a little bit right before COVID. And then I had my son in January 2020, then COVID. So my whole industry, entertainment industry, shut down. And I spent a year like, please, God, give me something to do. I need something to do. And network marketing actually fell into my lap. And that's how I got started. And it just took over. It took over in a way I never imagined in my life. I became really successful and never looked back.
So this was the first company you got involved with was your first experience with network marketing at MLM. Yeah.
I didn't even know what network marketing or MLM even was. Had no idea.
You don't have the PTSD that a lot of us did from the industry with all of it and whatnot. We're going to get into like things as far as your company goes, where people can wind up connecting with you if they want to. Give us the 5-cent tour of why'd you choose this industry? What was the appeal about it? And then what was your initial reaction to it when you got involved in it? Was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it presented properly? Or was there any time where you went, oh, I didn't know what this was? And I want to hear about your initial experience.
Well, I always say it chose me. Like I didn't choose it. I had a friend who posted on her Facebook, Joel, did you know you can do what I do for $19 or something like that? And I was like, I'd been watching her. You know, she's a high school friend of mine on Facebook. I saw her like buy her new house, but she would be on Facebook like doing these makeup lives. And I was like, I don't ever want to do that. Until that night, I'm sitting there and I was like, I think I could do that. Like, why not? Makeup, skincare, at least it'll give me something to fucking do. Mm-hmm. And I text her, hey, Allison, how much money can I make doing this? And she gave me like, her average. I thought, okay, I'm just going to try it. And literally paid 20 minutes later, bought like, the $169, the highest package. I wanted as much product as I could get my hands on to be able to play with. And that was it.
So you were in a spot where you were welcome to the information coming to you. You weren't hard pitched. It was the attraction, right? The attraction marketing in that aspect of it. A lot of us, we do cold call, we do slide in DMs. It wasn't like I slid into your DM and said, hey, Claude, what's your profession? And then I started that. You were open already to that.
Yeah.
Well, with your background, it's intangible. Right? It's online and there's no brick and mortar and there's no business. Did you have any problem with kind of adjusting to the mindset of, okay, how does this work? I got to recruit, I got to sell, there's no storefront. Did it make sense to you off the bat?
Yeah. I mean, I had already been doing like some influencer work on Instagram with a couple different brands. So I was already comfortable, being online and talking about other people's products. And I thought, why not just represent a company and I make a sustainable income, like a percentage off the sales actually. That made sense to me. And so it wasn't foreign to me at all. Plus I had been wanting to do something from home. Like I'd been like, please God, like what can I do from home? I tried teaching dance over Zoom, Dominick, and let me tell you, there's nothing worse than that. So So I was completely like excited and open to it. And just like the next day, well, not the next day, but a few days later, went live. And I was like, listen, postpartum depression got the best of me. And this is what I decided to do to try and get myself out of it.
Did you talk about that with when you went live and you advocated for your business?
Yeah, I think that was the first time I opened up about it.
Yes. Everybody who comes in, like I talk about my experience all the time. I was first recruited about a dozen years ago, and I was recruited for Amway when I was 18, but I didn't do it. And then I used to rent space out of a gym to teach when I first opened up my school. And this guy kept pestering me and said, "Hey, you know what?" Finally, he said, "I'm going to give you a month off rent if you watch one of my presentations." I'm like, $500 for oh, sure. Where do I sign this? Saw it. I did buy into the, hey, with your personality, you're going to make $500,000 in your first 2 months and this and that. And I was like, oh my God. And I went the route that they went, which was it was in sensationalism and hype and emotionalism. What you did is what I try to get people to do immediately off the bat. You get in day one, you start moving. You wouldn't get the keys to a Starbucks franchise and go, all right, I'm going to go in next month and see it. You would go in that night before they opened. And I tell people, what do I say? What is wrong with saying, hey, Claude, I just got in this business. I'm scared shitless. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Would you take a look at this? Can I try to practice on you my pitch? And the more real that we are, the more we do attract other people. So talk about that. How did you feel safe and comfortable enough not to be fake in your first time kind of advocating for what you were doing?
I don't even know how to be fake. I just don't. Like, I literally was like, I think this is where ignorance is bliss. Like, I knew so little about it. I was like, I need something to do and this seems fun. And I was completely like innocent and just opened up about why I decided to do this. And it had nothing to do with actually needing money. It was just like, I need something to do so that I don't kill myself.
This might be the shortest interview ever because you're representing everything that people are supposed to do. I teach there's three C's that we look at. It's either commerce, which is product or service, cash flow, or how we make our money, and then culture. And those things do wind up revealing themselves to you over time. I'm money driven, right? I've got the goals, 50,000 a week. I do want all the bells and whistle. I want all that. I want to be I've projected into the universe. I will be the #1 network marketer, millionaire creator in the history of the industry. But I know well enough now what the industry is and isn't. In the beginning, if I had just said, I need to do something and let the progression of what the industry is to me present itself, I would have had an easier time. You were just, again, on all fronts, you were massively open, which is a big key. Do you talk about this to people that you bring in, the importance of being who they are?
Yes. The importance of just showing up and being, people use the word authentic, but the problem is I don't think people know who they are. So I really try to dive in a little bit deeper and be like, who are you? What do you like? What do you want to talk about? Why are you doing this? Like, simple. And just like show up and do that.
How has network marketing continued who you are? Right. I mean, we talked before. You're a dancer, competitive, highly scrutinized. You scrutinize yourself. You're very hard on yourself. Did you take that discipline and apply that into the business? I mean, did you take your business seriously from day one, or did it take a while?
I took it seriously from day one. I mean, when I do something, it's 100% or it is not at all. And that's just how I attack everything. Like even my relationship with my husband, the day I met him, I was like, you're my husband. He didn't know till 2.5 years later, but I did.
How are you teaching? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Pat, keep going.
It's just like when I make a decision to do something, I give it my all.
When you convey that, because a lot of people, I've noticed, the people who do hate the industry versus the people who do in the industry. Well, there is almost it's kind of ironic. You've got the glow up with Claude, right? They do have a
Claude.
glow up. I'm sorry, Claude. Thank you for correcting me. They do have a glow about them. I used to see, you can't dumb it down by saying, well, people who are at the high levels of any industry are attractive physically versus people who are not attractive, who are negative. It's an attractive, positive, glowed up energy. You're going to get a lot of resistance when people come in because they look at you and you're this and you're that, and you didn't meet that negative energy. I have to assume you just don't attract that when you're in marketing your business, but you're going to get scrutinized for that by all the people who are, oh, she's successful in her business because she's got a personality, she's fit, good looking, like everybody else. But I honestly think that the industry, or any industry in, when you pour yourself into it, your air quotes pretty attractiveness is a byproduct of who you are and how it gives back to you.
Your outward appearance is a reflection of your inner thoughts. So, I mean, that's the answer right there. And when I started Dominick, I was 25 pounds heavier. I was in the thick of like my autoimmune disease, trying to figure out how to heal it, trying to figure out how to lose weight. But I mean, and then to some people, you weren't even fat, whatever. I just don't care about the noise. I care about what am I trying to do to accomplish? I need something to do for me, bring in a little income, provide a certain type of life for my son. Anything that comes in, I don't care.
The industry does have a very horrible reputation. How do you address that? I mean, you got in at the perfect time. The 80s and the 90s, really, this business shit the bed. Because it was get rich quick, it was pyramid scam, all of this. People saw so much value. We used to have to drag people to living room shows before. We didn't do Zooms on presentations before 2020 or 22.
True.
We used to go to living rooms or go rent out hotels, and it was very, very difficult to get people to see presentations. And then the last 2.5 years came around, and people just saw massive value in this. Have you had any exposure to the negative side of the industry or the negative energy, or even people who come in on your team? And we'll talk about the 80-20 rule, but have you had to deal with negativity in the industry that has affected you at all?
Not really. I have had a few women who, this is a pyramid scheme. And I mean, the answer to that is really easy. Any job in corporate America is a pyramid scheme. Unless you own your own business, you are down somewhere in a pyramid. So what's the difference? Plus I get to do it from my house. Plus I don't have to hold inventory. And then there's the whole thing with like, you have to spend so much money. I have news for people. If you want to ever have your own business, you have to invest hundreds of thousands. I invested a couple $100.
Yeah. When you first started dancing, was there a studio you went to?
Yes, yeah. Edge Performing Arts Center in Hollywood.
Do you think they had to pay rent on the building every month and light bill, heat, AC? Right? People just don't get that aspect of it. The industry sadly attracts dreamers that do not put work in. So I'm very curious to hear your balance of you teach people confidence, but then again too, you're very disciplined. Do you deal with and work with people who are like, okay, Claude, I love what you do. I just can't do what you do, but I want to learn what you do. So they're coming to you for a confidence, if you will. You're applying it through network marketing, teaching them the extra version of what they're doing and molding people with a personal development type aspect.
So to be quite honest, Dominick, when I first started the business, so as a dancer, like I mentioned in my last interview with you, it's a very selfish career, right? You depend on you. So when it comes to the team building aspect, in the beginning, I gave my all. I gave trainings every week. I gave them tools to use, and then nobody was listening. Nobody was using it. And I started to sort of back away from that part. And I look at people like Jessie Lee and I'm like, man, how does she have this figured out? The recruitment part, the training part, and actually get people to listen, because I literally cannot.
It's her gravity. Her gravity just keeps pulling you in, and that's the difference. Well, I've had this conversation with her many times where I try to duplicate what my uplines did many times before. right?
Yeah.
And and my uplines kept telling me you're non-duplicatable, and the whole industry concept is it needs to be simple and duplicatable. Okay, well, how am I not duplicatable? How you talk, how you dress. You're doing a Zoom in a studio and all this. You're intimidating people. And I went, well, fuck, I'm not going to make any money then, I guess. When I came across Jessie Lee, I was watching her content, and I told her this, and last time we talked, I said I could not stand her because she's got to be full of shit, because you cannot duplicate who she is. And then I started to watch her content, and I'm very much into the sales aspect of this. I like the pitch, I like the delivery,
Yes.
I like the close, the objection. I need that challenge, right? That's the competitive side of me. And
Yes.
when I watched her, I'm like, she's her. So I sat there and said, fuck everybody in my upline. I'm done. And I remembered that as far as sales goes and influence, my job was to talk people into handcuffs every day of the week. I'm the greatest salesperson out there. So I doubled and tripled down. I started to give more presentations. I never wore t-shirts. Every presentation, if I had 2 people on, I was in a full suit. And my numbers started to massively grow because I wasn't Johnny Douchebag in a t-shirt,
Wow.
just taking the business not seriously. So for me, it was the permission that I saw Jessie Lee giving was, you're not supposed to be duplicatable. The process is. So I have to wonder if that's something that we have a hard time. You'll get this easy, right? I was a wrestler. That was my background. Then martial artist. If the coach or teacher said to do something, you did it. I'm sure how many thousands of repetitions did you not want to do something, but you had to do it because you were told to do that. That's the problem I see with network marketing is too many people who do not have the skill set of teaching attract people in with this, you're going to make money, it's going to be easy, it's going to be simple. And then when someone with a disciplined background like you comes along and says, no, this is what we have to do, they shut off. Did you find that discouraging? And how did you continue through that nope, because I've dealt with the same thing. My turnover rate for my team is like everybody else. And we have our weekly calls. We have our 2 times a week training. And I just told a team member of mine today, I said, you're leading the next training. She's like, I don't want to. I'm like, no, you need to learn how. When I say, all right, anybody have any questions? And they're all staring at you with blank stares on the Zoom. And it's like, I love the fucking sound of silence. When you end that Zoom, you just keep going forward. What were your struggles like to where you went, all right, no one's listening, but you keep moving forward?
Well, that was easy. I'm like you, like I just turn all of my energy to sales. I love sales. I love being there for my clients. I love helping them, and I could talk to them all day. And taking time away from that to like devote to a team that isn't listening. And the things I'm offering are fairly simple. And you can just watch me and duplicate what I do. Watch my reels, watch how I go live, like just do what your leader is doing. But nobody is doing that. So, I mean, I guess I really did. I don't recruit. People come to my team because I talk about the opportunity. They see me do my makeup and they're like, "Ooh, I want to do it." But never once have I like actually actively recruited people.
Yeah, that's my passion. I love the cold call. I love the cold sliding in the DMs because I'm hunting, I'm fishing. I love that. It's my favorite thing to do because it's the hardest thing, right? When you pick up the phone to talk to a stranger, if I can master that, I can master anything.
Wow.
Well, so here's the difference between you and a lot of people. You have a personality, you've got a presence, you put it out there, you're attracting people so that those in the anti-MLM movement who say, well, it's recruiting, any job is recruiting, anything is franchising. How do you interact, deal, coach with people who are like, I can't do what you do? Do you immediately go, well, then that's your mindset, I'm not working with you? Or will you spend the time teaching people the confidence that they need for this business? Oh, I'm loving it. I already kind of like your answer.
I have like no patience. The hard thing is I've been a dancer. So now I've been a businesswoman for almost 2 years. And I have invested a lot in business coaches. And I'm learning now that to be a good leader, you have to create other leaders. I didn't really know that before. So now I'm like, okay, how can I create leaders of the women that sign up under me? And have a little bit more, I guess, tolerance, because the excuses are too much for me. And I don't like having to depend on women who just aren't ready to run. People will be like, just stick with your runners. And I'd be like, where are the run? Where are they? Which ones? Who are you talking about? Where are the other women like me? But I feel like maybe I just haven't earned that yet.
I'm so in awe, and I have so much respect for you for talking about the reality of the business and I haven't really run across anybody yet, but people will bullshit. I've got a massive team and I'm making this much money. No, you're probably not just yet. It takes years to build. Jesse Lee Ward's been at this for a decade. I'm not even remotely at her level. I took a break for this for a while, but I started 12 years ago. So the reality, and people need to hear this when they get in their business, is this is personal development disguised as making money. Have you cultivated and developed yourself more by dealing with, oh, these people are full of shit? 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the people are going to do 80% of the work. And out of there, if you recruit 100 people, 2 of them are going to do something. I'm not making any fucking money, but you keep going because you see value in it. Has that enhanced who you are and your skill set?
Absolutely. But see, the thing is I'm so good at sales and I'm going to make money anyways. Now, would I make more money if I had a large team? Like my upline, my mentor at Bellamy is a gangster. She has like 800 people on her team. She hasn't even been there 6 months. But that's like her passion. Like she loves to lead that way. And I'm trying to find it, Dominick. And I'm still learning. I'm still having to step up and like elevate myself as a leader because I have always just had to worry about me.
Talk about some growth things that you've recognized in yourself from starting this and then where you're at now. What have been some hurdles you've gone over that has improved your game?
Oof. Hurdles that I've had. I mean, it was all self-growth. Like when I started direct sales, I started after a year of like I had lost myself, right? So direct sales helped me find me. It helped me like show up and be accountable to my clients, to my following on Instagram. Like I just wanted to show up and add value. And in doing that, I had to step up who I was. I had to I found a whole new version of who Claude was through direct sales, through this. Like, it's so hard to explain, but this gave me like everything I have now. My house, like the coaches I've been able to hire to help me with my health, to help me understand business more, all started because of direct sales.
Do we go back and look at this as you looked at this as a job for income, or did you look at this as a challenge that in totality was going to improve at more than one aspect of just financially in your life?
Yes, that one for sure. So, I mean, yeah.
Is this, do you present it like this when people say, "Hey, I see what you do. I think I want to work with you." What kind of conversations do you have with people when they consider coming in?
I just say, I love the independence of it. Like you are in complete control of your life. You can make your own schedule. You can do it from just online. You can literally create your own brand using another product and not have the, if you don't want to start your own beauty line, the threshold there is much different. And a lot of women that come to me are moms. It's like, what's better than being able to just be at home, take a break when you need to go spend time with your kids or make your own schedule to be able to feed them, put them down to bed. Like you have complete control of your life.
Why do you think women dominate this industry?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
I have my theories. My theories
Please tell me.
Guys we're task oriented, and this is an intangible industry. I remember specifically when I first started truly learning what the business was. I had a third-party conversation. A woman I was dating at the time was like, "I don't understand what you're doing." I said, "Listen, can I get you on the phone with the guy who's mentoring me?" And I listened for an hour to him explain it to her, the industry, and it just did not make sense. Right? We're selling, but how are we recruiting and this and that? And I didn't understand the concept of, well, if it's McDonald's, and I watched the movie The Founder, which was a great, McDonald's is the perfect analogy for network marketing. Yeah, you can make, 3, 4, 20 cents off of a cheeseburger, or you could sell the franchise rights, and that's where you're going to make your money. And Robert Kiyosaki wrote it in his book, Business of the 21st Century. It is exhausting trying to get people to be like, I'm going to introduce this product line to you. I'm going to sell the product line to you. I'm going to wear you down. And then I'm going, hey, by the way, there's a business opportunity with it, versus saying, I want to sell the business to you, and I want you to become your own customer and repeat that cycle. When I understood that, I went, oh my gosh, this is great. Now I get it. But I was task oriented. I work with a woman that I went back to my original upline, and she knows I need a fucking challenge. And, she likes to rib me, and you're not where you're supposed to be yet. And she likes to, throw shit my way when I'm like, bitch, that's now we're fighting. She knows I have to get that out of me. So as a guy, I'm task oriented. And I don't think that a lot of men come into this industry, and we don't have, since it's female dominated, not a lot of women are out there giving off that masculine sales and leadership energy. So you get, unfortunately, a lot of the peace, love, and hair grease, type of energy. And I love you. And every type of training call is, I feel this. And it does attract women, and the guys that are on my team are like, we don't fucking do this, but women are more open to that energy. So I honestly think that women are attracted to the energy, plus they can multitask better, much better than men do. So I honestly think that this business would excel if men saw a black and white. You have to schedule between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock every day. You have to make this many calls. You have to, if they were regimented this, which is how I deal with my team, and a lot of women are not comfortable with it, and the guys do it. That goes back into go over there and do 20 double leg takedowns and do 20 again and do them for the whole hour.
Yep.
That's the system. And I think that what I've seen, sadly, is and I'm going to get into the Pied Piper aspect and get your opinion on that. The almost like loving energy that gets people in trouble in network marketing is, it's just one big, great, happy family. I believe in you. Hug yourself, and you're going to do well. That's not business. That's not business. So I think you see that it aids women, but it hurts men.
But also, Dominic, because I'm not so versed in direct sales, but no man is going to come sell anything I've been selling for the last 2 years.
I'm going to tell you flat out, and I say this all the time, the industry is for anyone. And I could have gotten involved with Mary Kay 20 years ago, and I'd be a multimillionaire. Several different reasons. Number one, I don't necessarily have to use the product, right? Because we know the model of it, every month, sure, you're going to have to buy a certain amount. That's your business overhead, like if you're renting something. But you're going to tell me you can't use influence, not manipulation, charisma. You can't use sales tactics. And a man in a woman-dominated industry wouldn't just fucking crush it? 100%. If I had started over, I honestly would have gone to Mary Kay, because I would have used everything. I would have used my looks, and I would have used my personality. I would have batted my blue eyes at every broad I saw, and I would have used that, right? But we're not taught that. One of the things that we do have in this industry, I don't know if you've noticed it, it is like a Pied Piper mentality. I don't know if you've been exposed to that, which is your upline will kind of feed your ego to make sure you're happy and you feel appreciated, so that you stay on the product, so that they benefit without any real training or teaching. Were you just blessed with a sales ability, or did you get people who said, listen, I believe in you, but we're going to do role play on cold calling. We're going to do role play on objection handling. Did you get training, or was that just something you were naturally inept with?
I mean, you could ask my husband, I hate sales. I was like, I can't sell anything. I mean, all I know how to do is show up, dance in front of somebody and be like, do you like me? But I don't sell, Dominic. I show up and I use the product, and I'm like, oh my God, look at my skin. Look at it. It's glowing. Do you want to fucking glow? Here you go. Glow drops. Take my quiz. I share what I'm obsessed with. There's a lot of products in like my last company and this one that I didn't like, and I never talked about it.
Okay, that's what I'm really trying to dig at. You're product obsessed. The industry, have you become obsessed with what network marketing offers to people? Because I've seen people that break out of their shell, people that get that first close on a sale or recruit, and they're like, oh my, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're running. Does the industry, has that been something that you've been like, okay, this is a new obsession that I'm becoming interested in because I see how it does teach personal development to people?
Like being obsessed with the actual industry itself.
Right, because you could totally tell, even in your kind of like faux delivery of, look at my skin and this, you could totally tell how genuine you are in your delivery. It's an easy, you're selling a product easy. Do you put that same energy and passion into selling the business?
No.
Why not?
I think it's because I was so discouraged with like the lack of work most people are willing to put in to their own business.
You're a confidence builder. You're a confidence expert. You help people. How are you not bringing that skill set into this much needed industry?
I think I have this whole thing where it's like, if you give people free training, they're not going to use it. And I don't know what that is. It's like, and that's my experience. I gave a bunch of free training and nobody used it. Now I do give a lot of free value on my Instagram, but you're right. It is never directed at the industry or to help the women on my team. And I think it's because I felt very discouraged and like exhausted from doing it before, and it led nowhere.
This might be a great problem solution for you because you're so good at teaching people confidence. And if we go back to cold calling, how hard is it to pick up the phone and talk to a complete stranger? You might have a niche in this industry connecting the bridge between confidence building and network marketing. I mean, almost every single phone call I get on people, I can't sell like you can. Well, you can't, or you don't want to, because everybody can. And then we know the process is with that. I have a very hard time. The last company I was with, the trainings that I would go on was ridiculous. Every Monday night would consist of 30 minutes of the husband and wife who were multimillionaires looking at 60, 70, 80 people on a Zoom and saying, we love you. We believe in you. This is a book we're reading today. And he would open a book. If you believe in yourself, anything can happen. Write that down. Write that down. Do you know how powerful that is? And I'm going, this is the fucking training? And then the last half was always people going around, I have something to say, and I just love this group, and it just means so much to me. And you would see zero growth with these people over time.
Yeah.
And I left the group because I said, there's not one Fortune 500 company in America or the world where the CEO walks in and says, I believe in you until you believe in yourself. Now, what are our numbers? It's shit gets done or heads will roll. One of my biggest passions is changing this industry to take it more seriously. I think where the value that someone like you could bring in massively is the women specifically are not given confidence in this industry with their own ability, which is what creates this massive anti-MLM movement of, oh, you got to recruit and you got to do this. You do. You have to duplicate, but no one's teaching you that. Do you think that perhaps you have an untapped skill set that could really help change this industry?
Yes. And it's just figuring out how to teach it, how to teach other women to do what I do and them actually apply it. And taking the time, out of my own sort of like sales business and coaching business and applying it to them. My upline is really good at doing that. But yeah.
I honestly think that you've got an untapped massive market right there by bringing that skill set in to that. I like to problem solve too. Have you noticed anything in the industry that you're like, all right, this needs to change? Has anything like rubbed you the wrong way or resonated that if you were given like the Empress staff of the world and you could just, snap your fingers and change it? Have you been like, all right, we need to change this in the industry?
Oh, yeah. So when I first joined my first company, I started supporting my friends other company, which is something totally separate. It's supplements. And I was taking her supplements to help her business. And then after a few months, I was like, oh, this is working for me. I'm going to promote it and help her business. Then I started getting a lot of points because when you share your code, you get points towards free products. I was getting so many points that the company reached out and said, we can no longer give you points. We have to actually pay you like per tax purposes. And I was like, oh shit, more income? Yes, please. Then somebody turned me in. And I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to sell this product and that product. And somebody had the nerve to take a picture of my name on a rec report and turn me in because they don't have a life. So I get a call from my upline. Hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not going to stop selling this. You can't tell me as an independent contractor where I can and can't make money. Mm-hmm. And so they kind of let it go, but I wrote the CEO a long letter, an email saying why I sell the other product, that I literally promote 3 products from that company, and never heard back. So I kept selling it. A few months later, I get a phone call from the guy who runs North America and for that company. And he's like, I have a bunch of people calling in every day about you selling blah, blah, blah. I'm like, uh-huh. And he's like, why did you keep selling it after we told you no? I go, because nobody answered my email. Nobody talked to me. And it's illegal for you to ask me not to do that. So I'm not that girl who's like, oh my God, I'm breaking a rule. That rule doesn't make sense. It's illegal and I'm not going to stop. And if you want to stop me, I'll just leave and go somewhere else. And I literally got that policy changed in the company so that women were able to partake in selling more than just one company's product.
Unbelievable. It blows me away that somebody's so fucking petty that they can't stand the success of someone else based on their efforts. I watch the anti-MLM movement. I doubt that's something you waste your time with, but did you know that you were kind of dragged in that and people were doing content on you?
Well, that was because of a very specific post, you know.
No, I don't know. Do you feel comfortable talking about it?
Sure.
Oh no, tell me.
It was, oh my God. So I had already made the decision to leave the company that I was with because of their limiting beliefs. And because, like you mentioned earlier, like the emotional sort of, they were hanging on to some emotional baggage from years ago that I wasn't even around for, that was stopping me from growing in the company. And so I had made a decision to leave. And 2 days later, after I sent my resignation letter, I posted a post about being fat and how, you know, it is shameful for you to like not take care of you, and it's disrespectful to you or your kids, your family. Like, get it together. And I got fucking canceled. The company that I was with sent a message company-wide apologizing for my post and then made it look like they fired me. Wow. And so that post started, people think that I work with Beachbody. I don't. So that's why it was such a big deal. Like, Beachbody, how can you let someone like Claude fat shame people and da, 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 da. And oh my God, what she's saying is horrible. I mean, people started taking screenshots and sending it to my company that I'm with now, saying, if you let Claude like work for you, we're going to destroy your company. Like, it was a whole thing. And that's what brought on all these anti-MLMers. And they were like, oh, and she doesn't just work for one MLM company. She works for multiple. How embarrassing.
The amount of work they do. Somebody has sent me contents where people will live stream my content and then they'll do 2 hours worth of critiquing my stuff. And it blows me away thinking, if you put 2 hours in this business, the amount of money you could probably make or build, it blows me absolutely away. I keep going back to your dancing background and the unbelievable discipline it caused. Were you ever insulted as a dancer by coaches? Did you guys ever get that kind of stuff? I mean, I'm going through my head of being called fat ass because you can't make weight, or don't be a pussy, go in there. It's a different type of animal, but you guys, was it ever kind of hard on you guys as dancers from, I guess, coaches and teachers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yes. I mean, not just weight, but like just the work ethic that you have to have. Nobody cares. And the amount of not just discipline, but respect that you have to have it within the classroom. Like no talking. If you yawned, you were kicked out of the room. Like in ballet class, they hold like fire under your leg to make sure that it stays out in a fucking developpe and you don't drop your leg and it's like shaking and you're like, like mentally you have to go through a lot of that kind of stuff. And the teachers just want you to be better. They don't give a fuck how you feel. I was told no on being in like trios I wanted to be in at competition and special numbers with the special choreographer. I wasn't good enough and they fucking let me know.
Did that help make you a better performer?
Yes.
Do the elite performers go through anything similar, or are they just kind of everything's handed to them? If they're having a bad day, it's like, oh, it's okay.
No. So no elite performer is saying that.
That's one of the biggest things I have with this industry. And I'm not saying all these anti-MLMs have a certain look. They have a certain look where they just don't take care of themselves and they're not proud. And that's making sense now, where their inward lack of discipline, inward ability, inward defeatism is just exuded through the way they dress and comb their hair and look, and just don't take care of themselves. And that is a physical manifestation of what they think of themselves. I think that we do need that pressure in this business, especially if you're looking at people who are saying you could make $500,000 a month. There are many, many people out there, 100,000, 400,000. The number one earners in this industry, they're a husband and wife couple. I think they're based in Spain. They make $2.2 million a month. I don't think they deal with excuses. I really don't.
No.
So that's why I want to correct that crux of what you do, because that discipline factor has to bleed through in how you wind up running or will run a team. What are the good things about network marketing that you've seen from a personal development aspect?
Just really becoming like my own boss, having to create my own structure within my day, having to be organized, having to implement like lead capture and business systems and automations and nurturing I didn't know about any of those things. So as a businesswoman, someone who is creating her own life, I have become so much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Able to do all that.
If somebody's going to get involved, let's talk about those things in the beginning. Do you have spousal support? Was he supportive in the beginning, or was he like, you're doing one of these things? Is he supportive, and how important is that for somebody to get in this industry to have a supportive spouse?
It's important to have a supportive spouse in anything that you want to venture into. And of course, is it going to be scary at first for them? Yeah, because it's new, it's a change. They're used to you doing a certain thing. And now you're like, my husband was like, wait, what? But he was so supportive. Like he would watch my son so that I could work. And, 2 hours turned into me wanting the whole morning. And then the whole morning turned into the whole morning, even through my son's nap. So can you put him down for his nap too? And he's been supportive the whole way. And I think it is so important to have a supportive partner who just is your biggest cheerleader.
Considering the fact that discipline has been built and bred into you, most people don't have discipline. When they're coming in this business, it's very easy to go, I could start at 9 o'clock today. 9 o'clock turns into 10:45. I'll get it tomorrow. How do you approach bridging the gap and talking to people about forming discipline, especially when they're doing this in their 30s and their 40s and they've never been disciplined before?
This is actually all very new to me, my ability to be able to put it on paper. Because before I was just like, this is just how I am. And I was like, you're not like that? So to me, it's about a process, and it all starts with the time that you wake up. And again, this is all very new to me too. Like, I hired a mentor and spent a lot of money for him to also teach me this. So now I can teach them that. But it put my mindset like in a structured, oh, this is what I've been doing. I've been waking up at a certain time. I've been doing my morning routine, and it is non-negotiable. This is what people don't understand. Like, oh, well, on the weekend, can I wake up at 10 o'clock? Well, on the weekend, can I have wine? No. If you want to create like true discipline and reframe how you're used to acting, you got to go way over here. And it starts with a daily routine. You have to structure your day from the time you wake up, the activities you do in the morning. You have to go to the gym or work out every day, take care of your body. You have to know what's going in your body. All of that is discipline. And when I was healing my disease, that's what I did. Non-negotiably put ethics in and organization in on all those little areas of my life because I needed it to heal.
Let's hear the blueprint. Give us the Claude blueprint. What's a day like with you, with your business? How do you incorporate your business into your life to make it manageable?
So I wake up at 5 a.m. I wash my face. I do journaling, like gratitude journaling. I read 10 pages of a self-development book. I reflect, and then I write like a really kick-ass motivational post. I post it on Instagram, Facebook, and I send it in an email to all of my email list. Nurture. I eat breakfast. I go to the gym. I come back Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. From about 10 to 3 is like content creation, content posting, doing my reels, going live to put my makeup on. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have all of my coaching calls for my coaching business. And then in the afternoon, I do lead calls. So anyone who's interested and wants to get on a Zoom, we do lead calls. And then from about 3 to 7:30, I'm with my son. Every afternoon, it's like my time to be with my son. I cook dinner, we hang out, we do bath time, I put him down. Then I do my get shit done battle plan for the next day. So I write down all my things. Okay, what do I need to do tomorrow? And then we start all over again. And I do that even on Saturday and even on Sunday.
You're going to war every day. Let's talk about, give me like let's take an immediate 3-month plan, and then we'll take it to a year. Where do you see yourself growing in the next 3 months in this business? And then where do you want to be in the next year in this business?
Gosh. In 3 months, I mean, I already hit #1 sales at Bellamy, but in 3 months, I would love to hit 50,000 in sales a month because I haven't done that yet. And in a year, I mean, I would love to be doing like 100K, and I would love to have a team of 1,000 women who I get to like help, who actually want to be doing this business and don't just join for, I don't know why they join if they don't want to do the work.
Do you see it as success or failure when somebody comes in this business and they're making $100 or $200 a month? Is that success or failure to you?
Well, that's not for me to say. That could be success to them. If they're like a stay-at-home mom and they're like, I just want an extra $200 a month to just be able to spend on a massage for myself, that's success. Not everyone is going to want to make, 20 G's, and that's okay.
I think that's one of the biggest things that the anti-MLM crew does is they blast out where they think other people should be happy or successful in this business. Well, if you're not making $1 million a year, you're not happy in this, but you're not successful in this business. And that just blows me away.
Are they making $1 million a year?
You know what kills me is the hypocrisy where they're all monetized on YouTube and literally they're marketing to their network so that they watch videos and they get paid off their videos, and 90% of them have affiliate marks. So it's so stupid. They're literally, their audience is as stupid as they are because they're very uneducated. Number one, let's talk about where, if people like your energy, your delivery, where can they get a hold of you to work with you? If they want to be involved with you for sales, to join your team or join any of the services that you do, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Glow Up with Claude. I answer all DMs. I check all DMs, answer everybody there.
What are your expectations? somebody reaches out to you and they don't want to be a customer. They want to be involved with you. Do you have expectations for people who decide to get involved with your team?
Yes, I expect you to be ready to work, and I expect you to be coachable and allow me to teach you what has gotten me to where I am, and then apply those things. That's what I expect.
I'm so glad this didn't go the direction I thought it was going to go, and I'm so happy for it to see that you're a blank canvas. You got so fucking blessed in this industry because you didn't get exposed to the shit, and you've got this. You're an untapped well. You're a massive untapped well, and I want to have you on. I want to chronicle your journey, and I want to have you on back on a couple months from now and see where you're at. See if let's have you on at least in the next 3 months and see if you hit that goal. And then let's mark your. You've got so much to offer. It's ridiculous. So you're gonna be a litmus test for me for doing stuff.
Thank you, Dominic.
Oh dear God, yes. All right, Bull of MLM Network Marketing Warfare Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, hit some comments. Make sure to glow up with Claude over on Instagram. Get a hold of her, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.